round 14 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Flanders here at Lommel. MX2 race 1, Liam Everts in yellow with the foxhole shot, or was it Maxim Groh? It's very tight between the two of them. They were bar to bar, neck and neck. Everts was forced wide, Groh led briefly. Langenfelder was there in orange in third, just behind Everts. The other rider in fluoro was Kai Karsmakers, just in and around the top 5. Camden McClellan, your qualifying race winner, was buried in around about 13th, 14th place. Guillaume Perez was there in about 5th, and he made light work. Sasha Coonan, home rider, tangled with Valentin Keys. He would eventually work his way back to 6th place, but this was how tight it was on the opening lap. Langenfelder up the inside of Maxim Groh, and then Perez from out of nowhere went from 5th to 2nd to 1st in the space of a lap, and then started about pulling away. Everts was there in 2nd. Janus Racheless got himself at the inside with that move on Langenfelder to go 3rd. Langenfelder was there in 4th. And then Camden McClellan was on the charge, so too was Perez, but what about this here? 2 riders in one corner. Langenfelder going past Janus Racheless and Everts as he moved up into 3rd. Everts would go out of the race a few laps later, whilst in that 5th, 6th position. Guillaume Perez made this big mistake here. He went down the rain ditch, re-emerged on track just ahead of his teammate, a 5-second gap eaten up immediately. Perez then tried to hang on, but then he would make this mistake that almost took both Triumph riders out. McClellan took that advantage, took over the lead. Perez then, a couple of corners later, ran into more problems, lost 2nd to Langenfelder. Langenfelder around the outside to move into 2nd, as Perez made another mistake in quick succession. In the end, though, the win went to Camden McClellan, 6 seconds clear of Langenfelder. Perez 3rd, Carlos Racheless 4th, Janus Racheless 5th. McClellan with his 3rd win of the season.
Van oktober en de eerste zaterdag krijgen wij de herneming van de Supercross boven het circuit in Assen.
Oui, un 14e Grand Prix de la saison, et il voilà en Suède, ensuite Arnhem.
MX2 race 2. And it was Guillaume Perez who stole the whole shot away from Langenfelder, who thought he'd done enough around the first turn, but he just drifted wide, allowed Perez up the inside, and he took over the foxhole shot for the 5th time this year. Everts in red emerged in 3rd place and then quickly into 2nd as he put Langenfelder under pressure. Sasha Coonan was in 4th position on the opening lap, but eventually he would fade back to 7th, still riding not 100%. Camden McClellan a couple of positions further back. One of the battles we got on track was between the 2 Monster Energy Yamahas of Carlos and Janus Racheless. Carlos up the insider of his brother as he searched for a top 5 position. This was one of the talking points, so Langenfelder did not yield, neither did the championship leader or race leader. Perez then ran off the side of the track as Langenfelder took over the lead. A lap or so later, McClellan was a little bit more easy on his teammate as he moved into 2nd. Everts made a mistake on the landing here. That was Racheless moving by for 4th place in the latter stages of the race. Great ride for the Latvian there, who would just miss out on the podium. And then Camden McClellan, after a proper ding-dong battle with Langenfelder over the last couple of laps, eventually got his opportunity. He took over the lead, and from there, no one saw which way he went. That was on lap 12 of 17. It was a perfect day at the beach here for Camden McClellan. He went 1-1 to win the MXGP of Flanders. Perez 2nd in the race, Langenfelder 3rd, Carlos Racheless and Everts. And your overall Grand Prix belonged to Camden McClellan, with Perez 2nd and Langenfelder 3rd.
A great day at the beach, yeah, for sure. Finally got the 1-1 quali win as well. It's been an awesome weekend. I can't thank the whole crew enough. Awesome to see Guillaume up there as well. And then again, a nice battle with Simon in the last race. We pushed each other until we were broken. Luckily, I'm pretty fit, so came out on top, and yeah, I'm happy.
MXGP race 1 here in Lommel. The MXGP of Flanders. Jeffrey Hurlings from the middle of the gate swept across his teammate Tom Vial, took over the lead and was the first across the foxhole shot line by a good margin. Adamo emerged there in 2nd. Geis around the outside here in 3rd as he went around the outside of Isaac. Gifting eventually finishing a little bit down the order in 8th place, but it was Herlings who led. Geiser quickly into 2nd as he went around the outside of Adamo. Then De Wolf making ground as well as he moved past Adamo to 3rd. This was on the opening lap, so by then we'd got Herlings, Geiser and De Wolf. De Wolf, though, finding his way past the Slovenian as he moved into 2nd. That was on lap 3. Adamo under pressure from Romain Fevre. Fevre found his way by for 5th on lap 7. Tagged the wheel there on the exit of the turn. At the end of the next straight, forced his way through. And he liked this part of the racetrack. Found his way past Tom Vial there as well. That was for 4th on lap 11 of 17. And then Fevre went after Geiser, but in the end, wasn't able to make that pass. Jago Kietz not being lapped. Jeffrey Herlings went on to win by 45 seconds from De Wolf, Geiser, Fevre and Vial. Adamo was 6th.
Van het deelnemerschap. Zaterdag jeugdwedstrijd en amateur. Ja, een beetje daarop zitten we in Utvella in Zweden. Voor als je vanuit de grensstreek komt van een kleine 100 kilometer.
MXGP Race 2. And it was a fight for the foxhole shot between Jeffrey Herlings and Tom Vial, but it was Vial this time around who managed just to get over the line briefly ahead of his teammate, but it was Herlings who led going into turn 2. Fevre emerged in 3rd, Geiser in 4th, Gifting there in 5th place. Fevre looking across at Geiser to see exactly where he is as he prepared to launch an attack. They went in side by side going into that 3rd turn. Fevre emerged from 4th to 3rd. Then he had Tom Vial to deal with. He saw away with him and he emerged in 2nd position. Geiser eventually found his way onto the rear wheel, went big on the big jump, found his way past Vial. And De Wolf then found his way past the former MX2 world champ. Adamo fell and picked himself up to get back to 5th position. Geiser had a moment or two, and that allowed Kai De Wolf to close in on him. This was for 3rd on lap 4. Vial then got the better of Geiser in the latter stages of the race. And then this on the final lap was the fight for 2nd position. Out the front door for Romain Fevre. He got scuffed by De Wolf on the way through. He finished in 2nd. Fevre picked himself up in 3rd, but then a lap later on the final lap, the Kawasaki went out of 3rd and off the podium as well. Herlings your race winner from De Wolf, Vial, Geiser and Adamo. The overall podium here this weekend. Herlings 1-1, De Wolf 2-2, Geiser 3-4.
It was, man, and like I said, it was brutal for everyone, you know, for riders, bikes, physical. It's a demanding track. Great weekend, fast in every practice. Took 3 really good starts. Led almost every single lap, so super pumped with my weekend. And got to work hard. You know, we still have work to do, especially for Arnhem. We need to find some solutions, but the team is working, like I said, extremely hard. And the bike's prime for the sand drag as well. Like you can see how much improvement we made throughout the year. So looking forward to Sweden in 2 weeks' time, and then Arnhem, and then we keep going.